Let's take a break from the forecast. Speaking of the National Hurricane Center, let's head to the headquarters down in Miami, Florida. Deputy Director Ed Rappaport joins us. Ed, thanks so much. It's Wes in Raleigh here in North Carolina. I know you've been there for, I think, more than 30 years at the Hurricane Center. Have you ever seen a hurricane, number one, that's stopping almost, going this slow, and then turning southwest and then back to the north?
Well, thank you, Wes. We have seen that occur, usually not both at the same time, and more importantly, usually not at the coast. Of course, the biggest issue with it slowing down is that it prolongs the battering along the coast and is going to allow for the storm to drop tremendous amounts of rain as far west as you and even farther to the west. So occasionally we see it storm stall or loop, but usually it's not right at the coast, and that gives us additional problems for Florence.
So we are now 2 years removed, Ed, from Hurricane Matthew, which was a disastrous flooding event. I know no two storms are alike, but is that your biggest concern down at the Hurricane Center, inland flooding for us?
For you, yes. Of course, we have the coastal flooding that's occurring now. We already see a tide gauge on the Neuse River that's gone up 6 feet. So we were worried about that storm surge, and it's occurring there now. But yes, for the inland areas, it's rain. And for almost all of North Carolina and much of South Carolina, more than 5 inches. But you can see from these other colors that we're expecting even higher amounts as you get closer to where the storm is now, because it's moving so slowly there, and it's still quite potent at this point. 10 to 15, 15 to 20. We really are concerned about potentially devastating floods from the rainfall. It's unfortunate, but it looks like we may see another event on the order of a Matthew-type storm.
Wow, no one wants to hear that. Ed, I just showed our viewers the latest computer model runs. What do you guys look into, and I guess how much do you look into those? Because we're seeing some shifts in the computer models this afternoon and this evening. How do you guys handle that when making your official forecast that we'll next see at 11 o'clock tonight?
Yeah, our forecasters here have a lot of experience, and they know the strengths and the weaknesses, the biases of each particular model. And on the long haul, on the average, they outperform all the computer models. In this case, when we're talking about just a shift of a little bit left or a little bit right, it doesn't make a big difference because we've got such a huge area anyways. If you shift this, an inch this way on the map or an inch this way, it's not going to make a huge difference. We still have the problem at the coast from the storm surge and inland from rain. Whether it goes a little west or a little south of west, a little north of west, that won't make a difference. Okay, and I'll get you out of here on this, Ed.
How are things going up to this point? Obviously we had a lot of fluctuations early on in the week, but let's say the last 24 to 48 hours and where we are now. Are things going as expected in your mind?
Unfortunately, yes. The storm seems to be pretty much on track in terms of its direction. Also thought it would slow down a lot, bring the storm surge and the rainfall. The winds came down a little bit earlier than we thought they would, but now we're about where we thought they'd be at landfall. So the forecast, unfortunately, seems to be pretty close to being right on, and the risk, as we said, is going to be for you folks is for all that rainfall over the next couple of days.
All right, Ed Rappaport, we will leave it there, live in Miami, Florida from the National Hurricane Center. Thank you for your service and all the men and women down there doing the hard work of forecasting this massive hurricane.